Vincent, tomorrow in the paper and online, Lex is doing one of its monthly in-depth pieces, this time on Rosneft, because the deal with TNK-BP has finally gone through. How do we describe this deal? I guess this company is now big.
Big isn't the word. I mean, we're talking about the world's biggest listed oil company, oil and gas producer here, measured by barrels of oil produced every day. About 5 million barrels of oil a day equivalent from Rosneft. That's bigger than ExxonMobil. That's, I think, the really headline sort of thing about Rosneft after it bought TNK-BP for an awful lot of money. And what we have seen is the possible emergence of a Russian supermajor.
So a company now that's bigger than Exxon in terms of production, and does it make a good investment? It has a small free float still, right?
Yeah, it has. There's lots of issues surrounding Rosneft. I mean, we're talking here about, it's very close to the Kremlin. It's Russian, so it has lots of sort of big geostrategic questions surrounding it. Tiny free float, it's only 10%. It is a candidate for further privatization, obviously. So there will be probably more bits coming onto the market over a period of time. But there are lots of little things and big things about Rosneft that investors need to bear in mind if they're thinking of buying it. And it's a very risky investment.
And the biggest, or one at the top of the list, is the debt.
Exactly. I think the debt is the sort of the kind of nucleus of a whole series of problems. That's the big operational handicap that it has, is that it has very, very high debt. And the danger is that because of that high debt and because of its closeness to the Kremlin, it becomes a kind of oil industry equivalent of Gazprom in the gas industry.
Which didn't work out too well for investors,
No. It's been a terrible investment for investors. Rosneft's prospects on paper and in principle look a lot stronger, but Igor Sechin, the chief executive of Rosneft, who's very close to the Kremlin and who is very much the mastermind of this TNK-BP strategy, he really has to deliver an awful lot. Expectations about Rosneft are very, very high.
And how important is the oil price to this deal actually working out?
Absolutely vital. Russia is so dependent on oil and gas exports for its tax revenues that it needs the oil price to be as high as possible. Over $110 a barrel or over $100 a barrel is fine. Any threat to it going under $100 a barrel, maybe down to 80, that would be very, very difficult for Rosneft.
Well, thank you very much for that summary, and I employ any viewers who want to read about this in depth to read the in-depth page tomorrow. Thank you very much, Vincent.